Welcome to the deep dive. We're plunging into a really fascinating corner of the comedy world today, a very unique live format.
Yeah, it's quite something. It's heavily influenced by the Kill Tony show, which some of you might know.
Right, Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Could you maybe give a quick refresher on what that is?
Sure. So essentially, it's this live podcast. Aspiring comics get exactly 1 minute on stage,
Just 60 seconds.
just 60 seconds.
And
then
shout.
immediate feedback from a panel of pros. It's parts stand-up, part interview, and often part, well, roast. Sometimes pretty brutal.
Definitely can be brutal.
Yeah.
And our source material today gives us a perfect window into that style. It's an excerpt from a script called Kill Tony, but it's in a garage.
In a garage, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So picture that. A makeshift setup, maybe string lights, folding chairs, very backyard edition kind of vibe. You've got the live audience, the host, co-host, two guests.
And I assume the famous bucket.
Oh, absolutely. A
Right.
red bucket right there, center stage. It sets the scene immediately, doesn't it? It's not some polished TV studio.
No, not at all. And that informal setting, I think it does something interesting. It probably encourages a certain kind of rawness, maybe even vulnerability from the performers.
I think you're spot on. The host in this script, he calls himself Tony Bologna.
Okay, Tony Bologna. Got it.
And he jokes that his real name is, quote, for tax season. Right away, it tells you everything about the show's tone. He even says it's where dreams go to die and occasionally get a Netflix special.
Huh. Yeah, that's pretty self-aware. It establishes that edgy identity instantly. He's kind of setting the rules, giving permission for what's about to happen.
Totally. And then there's the co-host, Redban. The intro for him is the only man whose Google search history is just stepmom stuck in dryer.
Oh my. Okay, so subtlety is not the goal here.
Not even close. And Redban plays right into it, joking. He scrolls TikTok so much his thumb has six-pack abs. It's just maximum absurdity.
These intros are doing heavy lifting, though. They're not just names. They're building the whole comedic world, the dynamic between the hosts. They're performers, too, not just presenters.
Exactly. It creates this, like, chaotic but weirdly comfortable space. You know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm. How do you think that upfront edginess affects the audience? Does it prepare them for the cringe moments as well as the laughs?
That's a good point.
Mm.
I think the garage vibe helps. It attracts an audience that's probably already into alternative comedy, maybe already fans of the original Kill Tony.
Yeah.
So they're kind of prepped.
Right, they know the score.
Yeah. And then we meet the guests. First, Lisa Laughmore. She's introduced as the Queen of Mean,
Uh-oh.
and she apparently canceled a Bumble date with a magician for this.
Priorities, okay.
Then there's Rick the Ripper. He's a legend, apparently, with 2 Netflix specials and 4 failed marriages.
Wow, okay. That's quite the bio.
And he admits, stand-up is the only thing I haven't quit halfway through. Again, just total self-deprecation, but also establishing his credentials.
Yeah, these aren't just funny lines. They're character sketches. You instantly get Lisa's sharpness, Rick's sort of weary, seen-it-all honesty. It's setting up how they're going to react later, isn't it? It's less about their prepared jokes and more about who they are.
It really is. It's all building towards the main event, the core mechanic of this whole thing. Bucket time.
Ah, the bucket.
This is where names get pulled from that red bucket and these unknown comics get their shot, their moment in the spotlight, or maybe the firing line.
So bucket time starts, and you can just imagine the tension, right? The host pulls out a name.
Yeah, and the script even says he's setting them up to bomb in 4K. It's immediately high stakes for someone who's probably never done anything quite like this.
It's so unforgiving. 60 seconds in front of seasoned comics and a live audience. The pressure must be immense for just 1 minute.
And the script gives us a great case study. A comic named Jason Squirrelmeat.
Jason Squirrelmeat. Okay, that name alone is something.
Right. So his name gets pulled. You can feel the nervous energy as he walks up. He gets his minute and he starts with, dating's weird now. Relatable stuff.
Standard opening, yeah.
But then he gets specific. He talks about asking a girl her love language, and she just says, Venmo.
Huh. Okay, that's pretty good. Very current, very sharp. Paints a picture instantly.
Exactly. And he keeps going, says his last relationship ended because he was too emotionally available.
Oh, the classic.
And the specific example, he cried when a dog in a commercial got adopted.
Okay, that's both funny and incredibly vulnerable. He's putting it all out there in that minute.
He really is. And that vulnerability is crucial because what comes next is where this format just goes off script entirely. It's not just about jokes he prepared.
Right, because immediately after that minute ends, there's no pause, no reset. The panel host, co-host, Lisa, Rick, they just jump right in. It's part roast, part interview.
It happens instantly.
Instantly. And this is what makes it so different. It tests the comic's ability to think on their feet, to handle criticism, sometimes personal jabs, with humor. It really shows you their character under fire.
And Jason Squirrelmeat definitely gets the treatment. Tony, the host, leads off. Jason, Squirrelmeat. That stage name or your family's dinner menu?
Oof, straight for the name. Classic roast setup, testing his reaction time.
Then Lisa Laughmore lives up to her name. You look like a guy who owns 3 swords and still loses fights.
Wow. Sharp, specific, and kind of brutal.
Yeah, ouch. But then Rick the Ripper comes in with something different. He says, you got the nervous energy of a chihuahua on Red Bull.
Okay, another hit, but...
But then he adds, but I like this set. It was like a sad TED Talk.
Uh-huh. A sad TED Talk. That's actually insightful. It's a critique, yeah, but it also acknowledges the content, the vulnerability. It's not just about the jokes, but the way he delivered them, his whole vibe.
Exactly. It's a blend of roasting and actual, if blunt, feedback.
It makes you wonder how much of the panel's reaction is pure improv and how much is just the sheer pressure cooker environment forcing out quick wit. Is it testing comedic talent or just resilience?
That's a really interesting question. Maybe the talent is the resilience, the ability to take that hit and turn it into something funny right there on the spot.
Could be. Integrating that real-time feedback, that personal stuff into your persona.
And then Tony brings it back down to earth. He asks Jason, got a job, Jason, or just vibes in DoorDash dead?
Haha. Very relatable question for many aspiring artists.
And Jason's reply is perfect. He says, I'm a part-time barista, full-time meme curator.
Nice. See? Quick, self-deprecating, totally contemporary. He turned that potentially awkward question into another laugh line. That's where the interview part shines. It shows you the person.
He nailed it. A modern poet, as the host kind of dubs him. Then Tony sends him off with, all right, give it up for Jason, now go Venmo your therapist. Just keeps that edgy humor going.
And that whole cycle, pull a name, the minute of stand-up, the immediate roast and interview, the audience reaction that just repeats, right? That's the engine of the show.
Yeah, that's a core loop. The script mentions other names pulled from the bucket, like Tina Tortilla, Greg with 1 G, Mystic Carl. Each one is a whole new experiment.
It's what makes it compelling. Every new name is a chance for, oh, well, anything to happen. You get these little aha moments, maybe a great joke, maybe just seeing someone handle the pressure surprisingly well.
It does feel a bit like a public job interview, doesn't it? But like the most stressful, judgmental job interview imaginable.
That's a really good way to put it, actually, because they can't hide behind a polished persona. Their real reactions, their discomfort, their ability to roll with the punches that becomes the performance. It's a stress test for their authentic comedic self.
So pulling this all together, what are we really seeing here? This Kill Tony style format, it's this wild mix. Raw, stand-up, high-pressure roasting, surprisingly candid interviews.
It really strips comedy down to its essentials, I think. It's less about crafting the perfect joke and more about revealing the person behind the joke. Their resilience, their wit under fire, their ability to connect even when they're bombing. It's incredibly exposing.
And maybe that's the appeal, that raw honesty.
Could be. It feels authentic even when it's uncomfortable. Or maybe because it's uncomfortable.
And the show leans into that right to the very end. The closing lines in the script have the host thanking everyone, including specifically Jason's emotional support water bottle.
Perfect callback.
And then he promises to come back next week to, quote, ruin more careers and possibly someone's marriage. It just perfectly captures that irreverent, unpredictable energy.
It really does. It sums up the whole dark but playful vibe. Everyone knows it's entertainment, but it's built on real people taking real risks, comedically speaking.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here, maybe something for you, the listener, to think about. What does this kind of format tell us about vulnerability and performance? What does it actually take to do that stand-up, give your minute, and then just face that immediate, personal, unscripted feedback?
And maybe zoom out a bit, too. What does the popularity of this kind of thing say about where live entertainment is heading? How these really unconventional formats, born in garages or small clubs, can find such a strong connection with audiences, maybe creating a whole different kind of star, or at least a different kind of show? It's definitely something worth mulling over.